our ELLIE House game of the week, our recap.
You know
We
it.
had the Massillon Tigers coming down to Warren to take on the Warren G. Harding Raiders. Coach, start us off. What'd you see?
I seen the team in Massillon that's gearing up. They're gearing up. They want to make back-to-back state title runs. They kind of check every box. Everything you need, they got. It ain't guaranteed that they're going to do it. Coach, I'm sure Coach Moore and the players will tell you that, but being how long and how hard it is to get the first one. So, but they got to stick. Coach Moore got to stick over there. You know what I mean? Quarterback and defense, check. We got a run game, got a big offensive line that can wear on you and open up holes. They got a 2-3-headed monster at running back. Jameer Gamble is playing out his mind right now. He's playing the best football of his career right now. And they got playmakers. They also got depth. They got a lot of players that people don't talk about that play an important role to their success this year. So, number one, Massillon got to stick. You know what I mean? They came and took care of business. They were the better team. They showed they was a better team. They were balanced. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. We talked about Jalen Slaughter last week, 11-19, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nice, solid game. Took what the defense gave him. When he had big throws, he made them and was accurate. Braylon Toes, 5-79 and a touchdown. Still got Jacquees Carter, who still made plays and was a threat on the other side. Jameer Gamble, I just talked about it. He playing the best ball of his career right now. He playing out of his mind. 10 carries, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also had a 22-yard touchdown catch. So in the last 2 weeks, he got 9 touchdowns. In the last 2 weeks, he got 9 touchdowns, man. He playing out his mind right now. The defense played good, forced a couple turnovers, had multiple sacks. Harding only had 215 total yards, couldn't get the run game going. So from the Massillon standpoint, they kind of came and did what they were supposed to do. On the other side, Harding, first they got to start. They didn't have a lot of penalties, but they had big penalties in crucial moments early in the game. They had a couple personal foul penalties that you can't have. Turnovers, of course, and they couldn't get the run game going. They were able to hit some big plays in the passing game. Shout out to Aries Coleman Bay. He had 4 for 90 in the touchdown. He made a couple big-time plays in the passing game. James Jones, backup quarterback, came in, made some nice throws. Chaz made a couple nice throws. But
he did.
All in all, when you're playing a team like that, you got to be able to be balanced and be able to run the ball and throw the ball when you need to. Only thing about Harding is they got to bounce back right now, though. It's week 10. You know what I mean? You playing Fitch. You playing another team who's playing pretty well right now. Fitch, since they changed quarterbacks, at least offensively, been playing great. So you got to be ready to bounce back right now. Even though you lost, it's a rivalry game. You don't want to lose. You got to let that go right now. You know what I mean? Because you're going into week 10, and you know we're gearing up for the playoffs. So this you playing Fitch, that's in the same region as you, Division II, Region 5. So this is a big-time game right here. You got to be ready to be locked in and be ready to go. And whatever happened last week, it happened last week. Massillon did what they were supposed to do. They came and took care of business. They executed the game plan. First 2 plays, I'm like, okay, look all right. And then, boom, there you go. And it kind of went from there.
Right.
And then Massillon didn't play great. You know what I mean? They also they could have played better, in my opinion, also. But not saying they played bad. I think they played solid. They played pretty good. They came in and did what they were supposed to do, took care of business. But they had some turnovers. They had some penalties also. You know what I mean? I'm sure Coach Moore want to clean that stuff up before he go into the playoffs, especially looking at who they got this week coming up. So all in all, my biggest takeaway from the game is this. Really ain't got nothing to do with the game. I was disappointed in the crowd. I was really disappointed in the crowd. You got a Harding that's 6-2 coming into the game. Massillon 6-2 coming into the game. From the home standpoint, I'm saying I felt like Massillon did what they do. They traveled. We all know at Mollenkoff Stadium now with the home side, you ain't got that much space over there besides the upper top level. So they pretty much almost filled that up. But just from the home crowd, like I don't know if everybody was at the concession stand on the fence, but we didn't fill up the home side. I thought Harding Massillon we'll be in that thing with some energy. So. Really, that was my biggest takeaway from the game. As far as the game, Massillon was the better team that did what they were supposed to do. But Harding got to let it go. You know what I mean? You still 6-3. You still in the playoffs. You still clinched the playoff berth. Now let's still shake this off. Let's go get a good win against Fitch. Try to go get a good win against Fitch. Get ready to go in the playoffs. And it's big for playoff seeding. Because like I said, Fitch is Division II, Region 5 also. So, but like I said, my biggest takeaway is I thought the turnout would be a lot better.
Yeah, I'll start with Massillon. That's just a team that's had a different place.
Right.
All right. Massillon has a different place. They defending state champions. They ran the table last year. They went. They've been playing big time nationwide programs.
In the state, out the state.
In the state, out of state. So, the more places that you do play is the more places you can play. Right. So as much as they done traveled and been playing these big time programs and playing these showcases and things, the whole Mullencoff Stadium allure to these particular group of guys, it probably wasn't too big of a thing to them because they've been playing. They've been playing bright lights all year. So what you're looking at is a team that's in a whole different place. They playing a national schedule. They have big time players on that team. So they're playing a different grade of football altogether. Like I went back and watched the game, and shout out to Harding because it's good to have honorable opponents.
Yeah.
Right. So those guys took a respectfully, they took a beating, but it's good to have honorable opponents, right? So you can build off. You don't get better by playing teams that you're better than. You get what I'm saying? You get better by playing teams that's better than you. So I think the program, Massillon's program, is where it's at right now. It could be probably equivalent to the year. Lynn has 6 touchdowns on them. 2 programs in 2 different places. So I think what I took away from it is Massillon is a program that's in a certain place. Harding is in a program that's in a different place. And those guys play like warriors. It was a physical game. I'm sure that they haven't felt that type of physicality this year.
Right.
Like this particular team. Those kids from Massillon been playing kids on bigger stages from bigger programs. So the strength wise, bigger, stronger, all that came into play. And over, no matter what the game plan is, a better team typically comes out on top, and deservingly so. But not to take nothing away from the effort and what the guys from Harding went through, because when you play a better team, things happen. Like the better team makes the plays. You know what I'm saying? They playing faster, they playing quicker, they playing more physical. And so they just introduced them to the brand of ball that they play at a different level.
Like you said, that's a great point. Like the youngest say, it's levels to it.
There's levels to it, right?
There's levels to it. And like you said, it ain't nothing wrong with sometimes taking a loss like that and understand there's levels to it, but we're coming. That got to be the mindset you got to have. That's the level we trying to get to. Okay, we're going to play you every year. You got us this year. We ain't got time to dwell on the loss right now. We got to get ready for this next week 10 at Fitch. You know what I mean? But we see where we at. We see where we trying to get to. Let's put our head down and keep working.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And of course, Jameer Gamble, like you said, he playing lights out right now. And, shout out to him because from a team coming back from a state championship and the coach put the ball in your gut because, last year, DeJuan Owens it was a run heavy, and spreading the ball to those other guys too.
But when it got to it, you knew DeJuan was going to be the one with the ball.
He was going to be the one with the ball in his hand.
Running or throwing.
Absolutely. So to come back after on your quest to repeat, to be entrusted to carry the load, that's saying a lot about really the how he's playing right now. He just playing at a different level.
Hey man, bro, I couldn't say it no better. You know what I mean? The lead right into he was our ELLIE House player of the game for the game.
Yes,
sir.
You
know what I mean? 10 rushes, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns, 22-yard touchdown catch. He's been playing out of his mind. Over the last 2 weeks alone, he got over 400 yards rushing, 9 total touchdowns. So he is right now, he's playing the best ball of his career. The one thing also took away from him is he looked fresh. You know what I mean? He looked fresh. And like you said, that kind of come from, even though he played a lot last year, he didn't get a lot of high carry games. You know what I mean?
Right.
He kind of got going as they got into the playoffs, kind of around the same time, and kind of took off into the playoffs where he kind of made a name for himself. He's doing the same thing now. People already know about him, but it's almost like I'm taking my game to another level.
Right.
And like I said, the last 2 weeks he's been playing crazy. We're gonna talk about Jameer here a little bit more in a little bit. But them all great points you made, bro. He played out of his mind. Like I said, 10 carries, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing, and another touchdown, 22-yard touchdown catch. So, again, last 2 weeks, over 400 yards rushing and 9 total touchdowns.
Yep. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a recap of our ELLIE House player of the game. Like I said, shout out to Jameer Gamble, Coach Moore, Jalen Slaughter, and the Massillon Tigers, as well as, shout out to Eris Coleman and you know, Chaz and the guys at Harding too, because you know what I'm saying, that's a tough draw.
It's a tough draw.
That's a tough draw, and them guys were some warriors. That was a physical game. We was, you know what I'm saying, from the sideline, you can hear it, see it. That was a physical game. And them guys
shake it off and get ready for this week, baby.
Shake it off, get ready for this week. Be right back at it.
You know it.
After this quick break, we're gonna be back with our PCT Player of the Week.
Be checking in, man. Keep it locked in, but in between the lines with Coach Stella. You feel me? You did.